Good morning. It's Saturday, August 24th. I'm Melissa Nunez in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox local app. Well, in a Fox 5 exclusive, the father of Victoria Lee speaks out after she was shot and killed during a mental health crisis in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
As a father, there are no words to fully describe the pain of losing my daughter.
Her father there did not want us to show his identity, but he did go on to say that they were worried she was going to harm herself. Body cam footage shows officers telling her to drop the knife before police fire a gunshot. And the iconic cyclone in Coney Island's Luna Park is out of service. This comes after the 97-year-old attraction malfunctioned on Thursday, and riders had to be rescued after it got stuck. It's pretty scary moments there. The ride has to now pass a Department of Buildings inspection. No timeline on how soon the ride will reopen. And checking the forecast for the weekend today, mostly sunny with a high of 85 degrees. Tonight, clear and mild. Tomorrow, the dry and warm stretch continues. Well, a family is grappling with a tragedy after the body of their mother is found severely burned inside Highbridge Park. So many questions still unanswered as police search for whoever's responsible. Fox 5's Michelle Ross spoke exclusively with the family.
A short walk into the woods of Highbridge Park following this narrow dirt path is a memorial of candles, a teddy bear, and framed pictures. Pictures of the woman whose body was found here last week, burned beyond recognition.
She was not just some burned remains. She was a person that was loved.
Her daughters are devastated as they look at her charred belongings. These are pages from the Bible she always carried. Originally from the Dominican Republic, they tell me Marcia Ricari had a difficult childhood, but her light shined bright.
She had a beautiful smile. She liked to dance. Her signature makeup was the red lipstick. She loved the red lipstick. She used to say, like, oh, the Selena lipstick. That was her thing. I'm sorry.
Her daughters say she struggled with mental health, so they helped her get inpatient services at a local hospital.
In April, she was in a mental health facility, and they ended up doing an early release on her, which we begged them not to, and they still did it. And so she was receiving outpatient services that she wasn't going to.
They say she was discharged to a shelter, and the plan was to secure independent housing for their mom. The women say their mother did not live in the park, as they questioned someone who does to see if they heard or saw anything. But when Marcia left the shelter, her children say she hopped around to different friends' homes.
We all housed her, but she just always wanted to do her own thing. She was very free-spirited. She didn't like to be in a box. We wanted to be with her. We wanted her to be okay. We wanted her to have her own place. We wanted a place where we can go and visit and just, have dinners and watch a movie and laugh. She was not abandoned.
They would chat every few days, but began to worry when they didn't hear from her.
2 months prior, my mom had said she spoke to NYPD because she felt like she was being stalked by 2 individuals.
Then they got the call from police about the burned body in the park. With little evidence available, they've moved the memorial to a more visible area, sharing her story, with the hope that someone who walks by may know something.
She could have been any of you guys' mother, the grandmother, the daughter, the sister. Nobody deserves to go like this out of this earth.
And the family says it'll be about a month before they receive toxicology report results and accelerant testing results from a medical examiner. Now, the NYPD says that its investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made. But even after the family receives those medical results, they still want to know how exactly their mom ended up here in this park. Reporting in Washington Heights, Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
The NYPD is looking for the person who went on a crime spree stealing cell phones in Manhattan. Police say this man stole iPhones from 4 different women. The thefts happened between Bryant Park and Herald Square and all happened between 4:30 and 7:30 p.m. over the last 2 weeks. The victims range in age from 22 years old to 64. Each time, the suspect snatched the phone and ran off on foot. None of them were injured. Well, new concerns are being raised about a brand new animal shelter in Queens. New online pictures are showing animals living in decrepit conditions, and local leaders want to know why. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini has more from Richwood, Queens.
These images, Fox 5 News is told, capture some of what's happening inside this new animal center in Queens. This ACC location operates under a city contract. Its address, 1906 Flushing Avenue. The images ended up in the hands of City Council member Robert Holden, who says he's heard a range of concerns. The animal shelter is in his district.
A few whistleblowers who saw the facility, and even some who had visited.
Councilmember Holden says he's been told some dogs are forced to stay in small kennels and sometimes not being walked. He says he was also told some animals are staying in dirty kennels and not given food and water on time.
What's your take on what you saw compared to the photos?
I didn't see the level, like this level, but I assume that it went out and they cleaned it up.
We went to the facility, our camera rolling as I walked inside. We were told no cameras allowed, so we reached out to the ACC. In a statement, a spokesperson said, if a pet's kennel is dirty, we clean it up as soon as we possibly can. No pet is willfully left in a mess, and while it is not possible to have an eye on every kennel every second of the day, we do our best to ensure all pets are cared for, healthy, and ready for adoption. We talked to two women as they came out.
You didn't see any issues in there?
No. Everything seems pretty cool.
Like many shelters across the country, the ACC says it's seeing an overwhelming number of animal surrenders and adds it's still staffing this new center and working to recruit more volunteers. We reached out to the city. In a statement to Fox 5 News, a spokesperson with the health department said, we are in a period of transition to both improve facilities and open new ones so that animals in our care receive the best possible treatment. Stephanie Bertini, Fox 5 News.
The New York State Thruway Authority is suing the company that built the Governor Mario Cuomo Bridge. It claims some of the parts used to build the bridge are not up to par. The apparent problem is with pipes used to connect cables to the bridge. The Thruway Authority says the pipes are not durable and will need to be retrofitted, but the consortium that built the bridge, Tappan Zee Constructors, has refused to do the work. Well, we all remember when we got our driver's license. It's a rite of passage, a gateway to independence for teens. But new numbers show that fewer of them are getting behind the wheel. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo shows us why.
I do want my license badly. I'm excited for my driver's license so that I could go places without asking my mom.
Who doesn't remember the sheer exhilaration of turning 16 or 17 and finally getting your driver's license? A rite of passage and, let's be honest, a pathway to freedom. It's a simple pleasure a lot of teens don't experience these days because they simply don't want to drive.
I got my license at the age of 16.
Were you excited to get your license?
Very excited.
I mean, I couldn't get out of the house fast enough to get it.
I was happy I didn't have to deal with my parents, so it was just a quick way to get the hell out of the house.
I couldn't wait to get mine either. I couldn't wait to get it.
Does it sound crazy to you that kids wouldn't want it?
Yeah, it sounds crazy. Yeah, I don't believe that kids wouldn't want it. They want their driver's license. They want to be free.
If you're thinking to yourself, this makes absolutely no sense. Well, first, I hear you. But then I looked up the data from the Federal Highway Administration, and it shows back in 1983, 87% of teens had their license. In 2022, that number was 68%. So the stats don't lie. The question is why? There seems to be a few things at play. Owning and maintaining a car is expensive, more now than it's been in decades. And who needs a license when mom, dad, Uber, and Lyft are a call away? Dr. Navasillan is a developmental psychologist.
I think it's a combination of finances. Cars are more and more expensive between the gas and the insurance and purchasing a car or leasing a car, coupled with the fact that many people are doing things remotely, virtually. They're okay biking or walking or carpooling and or meeting up with people virtually instead.
There is, however, a big downside to holding off. On one hand, the longer a teenager waits, the more time they have to mature and hopefully become better drivers. But on the other,
my fear is that when you get your license, you have this great sense of independence that comes with it. And it's also a great sense of responsibility. And so if drivers keep kind of pushing off when they get their license and teenagers are no longer as eager to get them, we're also pushing off that sense of responsibility and that opportunity for independence.
In Linden, New Jersey, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lisette Nunez. Have a great day, and remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox local app.